What's happening, my friends? Welcome back to the channel. Let's get into Dominick Cruz versus Chito Vera. This one's coming up in August. It's a great fun fight. Could be a passing of the torch or not. Let's get into it. Alright, first let's start with Chito Vera. Chito is 29 years old, 5'8", 70.5-inch reach. Mixed martial arts record, 19 wins, 7 losses, 1 draw. 7 wins via KO TKO, 8 wins via submission. Varied offensive game. You can see by those stats. Black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. His main coach is Jason Perillo, legendary coach. Let's talk about Chito Vera's style and skill set. So Chito Vera is tenacious. He's a very aggressive fighter, pushes the pace. Cardio is definitely a weapon with Chito Vera. He's nasty in the clinch, very good elbows. Tough as nails, just a strong will to win. He's diverse on the feet, great front push kicks. Solid boxing that is always improving. That's working with Perillo. His ground and pound is just vicious. Really nasty elbows if you're on the bottom. Chito's hungry. He's hungry. He wants that belt. He has submissions. He's pretty much good everywhere and always working and improving. Alright, let's talk about the legend Dominick Cruz. Dominick Cruz is 36 years old, 5'8", 68-inch reach. Mixed martial arts record, 24 wins, 3 losses. 7 wins via KO TKO. Has a lot of decision wins, 16. Dominick Cruz is technically a blue belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, but let's be honest, he's black belt level. If we're talking about Cruz's fight style and skill sets, mega experience, super vet of the game. Tricky and innovative movement. But people are kind of figuring it out now. Still tough to deal with, but not the enigma and puzzle that it once was. Dom is tricky though, he's tricky. Hard to get a read on him. Known for changing the game with footwork. TJ Dillashaw kind of modeled his style after Dominick Cruz. Pretty effective style. Dom has great counters, reads guys well, timing shots, hits you off angle where it's difficult to hit him back. For example, his overhands that he launches, but he's off center line, kind of drifting overhands and out of the way. You can't counter him. You could launch a kick though, in the case of that attack. Stinging jab, superb cardio and conditioning. Dom always comes in shape. Solid wrestling offensively and defensively, very high fight IQ. He has knockout power. Dominick Cruz's toughness through the roof. He's still hungry to win, even after all these years and accomplishments. Dom, like Chito, can mix it up standing. Low kicks, jabs, overhands, high kicks. Future Hall of Famer without a doubt and legend. Alright guys, let's talk about this fight, the matchup. How could this one possibly play out in a UFC cage? This is kind of like a tough one to call. Because Chito Vera is always improving, and it kind of depends what version of Dominick Cruz shows up. Is Dominick Cruz going to suddenly get old overnight? Are his injuries going to catch up to him? It's weird with Dominick Cruz. There have been some fights where it looks like Dominick Cruz has lost a step. Could just be his opponents on fire, namely Cody Garbrandt. Sometimes styles make fights. Then you got instances of Dominick Cruz looking great. Like vintage old school Dominick Cruz against Pedro Munoz. Let's just say these guys come in at their very best. If that would be the case, I'm going to have to lean towards Dominick Cruz. I just think Dominick Cruz has more experience at a higher level, more experience in the bigger fights against better competition. They both fight at a very high pace, put the pressure on you. Excellent cardio and conditioning, so I don't necessarily think either one of these guys are going to have an advantage in the cardio and conditioning. I don't see either guy gassing out, so that's off the table. Pure wrestling, I might have to give it to Dominick Cruz. I think he has the edge on Chito Vera in that department. Striking's close. It's very close. I would say for me, probably dead even. Now, I think Dominick Cruz might be slicker standing. He's very difficult to hit. I feel like Chito Vera is hittable. We've seen that in some of his fights. But he's aggressive. He's tough. He offers a lot on the feet. I think he has more tools standing than Dominick Cruz. Looks like he has more power, but Dom has such high fight IQ, he reads guys so well. He's usually so difficult to hit. That mixed with the footwork and the movement, I think it could be problematic for Chito Vera because I don't necessarily think he moves as well as Dominick Cruz at his best. Chito seems a little bit stiffer to me, but his striking is cleaner. More technique with Chito Vera. Dominick Cruz is kind of loosey-goosey, kind of all over the place. And what saves him is his speed and movement and being very aware of what's coming in off that center line. Submission grappling, I don't think is going to be a big factor. I think both of these guys are very well versed in submission grappling. I'd actually be surprised if either guy gets tapped out. Toughness, about equal. Both of these guys are savages with a high will to win. Fight IQ overall, I think Chito Vera's fight IQ is kind of underrated. I think he's a smart fighter. I think Dominick Cruz is a smarter fighter. I don't know, for me, this fight is a question of how much Chito Vera has improved versus how much Dominick Cruz has declined. That's why I say this fight's almost like a passing of the torch in a way. Prime versus prime at their very best. I have to go with Dominick Cruz. Hard to pick against the Dominator. Few people have defeated Dominick Cruz. Can he turn back the clock once again against Chito Vera? Or is the young stud and lion gonna take this fight over? It's tough to say. It's really tough to say. I think it would be wise for Chito Vera to throw low kicks, try to damage Dom's legs. He's had knee injuries in the past. That's going to slow him down. That's going to affect his movement. It's going to affect his striking. It's going to make him more hittable. So Chito definitely has to throw those low kicks and land. Also, don't waste your energy. If you see an opening, of course, take it. But be very aware that Dominick Cruz is hard to hit. So you have to time and place your shots very well, not waste energy. Chito has to cut Dom off, intersect him in that cage, box him in, because out in the open, it's tough to hit Dominick Cruz. Dom has a tendency of dipping left and right when he strikes, throws those overhands off center line, but he's susceptible to kicks and flying knees. Maybe something Chito Vera and his team could look out for. Speed and quickness, I feel like if Dominick Cruz comes in close to his prime, he's going to be quicker than Chito Vera. He's going to beat him to the punch. For Dom to win this fight, he just basically has to do what he does. Be agile, be mobile, constantly move, attack at off angles, mix it up on the feet, maybe incorporate some wrestling to keep Chito Vera guessing, even if you don't score the takedown. Because I think Chito Vera is very strong against takedowns, especially early in the fight. And he's dangerous in that clinch. I could see Dom shooting in for something, engaging for a takedown, it getting stuffed, and eating a nasty elbow up close, or a knee. Something Cruz definitely has to watch out for. For this fight, I don't really see Dominick Cruz finishing Chito Vera, but I could see Chito Vera finishing Dominick Cruz. So I think Dominick Cruz via unanimous decision. If he fights smart, he can outpoint Chito Vera. Again, use that movement, that footwork, be hard to hit. And on Chito's end, my honest opinion, I think it's more likely that he could finish Dominick Cruz than the other way around. At this point in the game, we saw Pedro Munoz stun and hurt Dominick Cruz pretty bad. And you have to think, right now at this point, with the run that Chito Vera has been on, why can't he? He can. I'm not super confident in this pick, to be honest with you. This is one of those gray area fights. So many variables. But I'm going to make a pick anyway. 55-45, close pick. I think Chito Vera is going to get it done. I think Chito Vera has the momentum. This is more his time. I think he's less banged up. He's younger. Dominick Cruz has been around for a very long time. He's recovered from a lot of injuries. He's an old war dog. Maybe he rises to the occasion, turns back the clock again, and beats Chito Vera. It's possible. Dominick Cruz is a future Hall of Famer. The guy's a legend, former champion. One of the greatest minds in the sport. But I'm sticking with Chito Vera, 55-45 in this fight. Once again, I think the momentum's with him. I think there's going to be a difference in power. I think Chito Vera is going to be confident to walk through with Dominick Cruz throws. Eventually, I do see him landing something and hurting Cruz, but we'll see. I don't think Chito's success is going to be necessarily more on the ground than standing. I think it's going to be in the standing realm. Dom is hard to take down and keep down. You rarely see him on his back. Now, if he's stunned and rocked, that's a different story. Then Chito could utilize that nasty ground and pound. But we'll see, guys. Once again, sticking with Chito Vera, you let me know in the comments section who takes this fight and why. It's a great fight. In some respects, maybe passing of the torch. Or we might see the old dog still has a lot of fight left in him. We're going to have to wait and find out. Thanks for watching the video, guys. If this is your first time at the channel and you enjoy the content, hit that subscribe button. Like and share to support the channel. Appreciate that. I'll catch you guys in the next segment after this one goes down. We'll come back and talk about it as usual. Until then, my friends, you all take care.